Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to this fresh Saturday. No school today, which is always a plus for many of us. Not that school is inherently bad or that the people in it are terrible, but you guys know what I think. My legions of fans are quite aware that education is key and literacy is key. So I'm not trying to celebrate that school is off today because it's such a wretched place. It's just an outdated, at best, outdated system. When you take a look at it, analyze it, look at the work of John Taylor Gatto, you realize that Saturdays when there's no school and you're free to pursue whatever intellectually you wish, that's a wonderful thing. So I'm here talking to you again, coming to you from my soundproof studio once again. Welcome. But this one's gonna be relatively short, no 15-minute rant on my part, because I would like to, I'd like to inform people. Now, normally my audience is high school students, but they don't really need informing on this. This is something that they understand as well. It's the adults who don't seem to understand priorities. They don't understand anything relative. And they're just in the dark. I mean, levels of cluelessness and cognitive dissonance that I've never seen before from people who call themselves adults. And I am, of course, referring to the NFL owner who said that the inmates were running the asylum. And the story is NFL owner, basically took umbrage, I guess he's probably fit to be tied because the NFL is hemorrhaging money for once, right? Because of the kneeling controversy, Kneelgate, and the NFL owners deserve what they get for letting these people kneel on company time, right? I mean, so very quickly the kneel stuff, you're going to kneel during the national anthem and the owners aren't going to say anything because they're afraid of the opinions of social justice warriors and liberals who don't watch football in the first place. I can't think of anything more. And I'm struggling teacher trying to get my act together and my secondary income streams going, and I'm having a hard time of it, but I'm doing my thing. And even I know that you don't do that. You nip it in the bud, right? This Kaepernick kneeling thing, release the guy, get him out of there, say, let people know through quiet channels, you're going to do that, you're going to take a loss, right? The NFL is the only sport where you could still get fired, which is why people like it. How out of touch are the NFL owners? Anyway, this NFL owner, I think he was the Texans owner. I think the Houston Texans. I believe he said, basically enough is enough and the inmates are running the asylum. So the outrage machine, of course, kicked into high gear. The NFL is, last time I looked, is somewhere around 70% black of players. Right, there's your racist United States, right? The NFL is 70% black. Such racism going on there. Don't get me started with that. And so he said that, this inmates and the prison idea and the NFL is majority black players. People, Twitter, social media, people going crazy. Now, here's the thing, and it didn't take me but a little while thinking about this to wonder how people's opinions get formed. What is it that sets them off? I don't think there's anything rational, tangible. There's no relativity when it comes to history. Because the people who are angry, and I've seen this on my Facebook feed, right? Remember, I've told you, I'm in the tri-state area in New York. I live in the Bronx. I work at Mount Vernon High School. I'm a public school teacher. So my social media world is all what would be classified as, democratic, liberal, left-leaning people. Many great people, right? And people that I get along with. My liberal bona fides, I'll go up against anybody with my credibility on that side of the aisle. You can't touch me with that. But I still think for myself. And you have the same people who are fit to be tied about this inmates running the asylum stuff, are the same people who hate Trump and are crying that Hillary Clinton didn't win the 2016 election. Now, that's probably the stupidest opinion, the stupidest thing to be angry about is this NFL owner saying this. You know why? Because it's on record, not ancient history, that the Clinton administration, with Hillary Clinton saying the word super predators, passed a crime bill that put, conservatively, a generation of black people in prison. For what? For things like possession of weed. Forget about the ridiculous firearms legislation in places like New York City and Westchester. So, you know, it really, you have to wonder, I mean, is the mainstream corporate regressive left media that powerful that they can put out there this guy is terrible, you should be enraged, the fact that he said the inmates are running the asylum, and then it sets everybody off? Is that the catalyst? Is it that? It can't be that easy to galvanize everybody's opinion at the same time. Oh yeah, you're the same person, the same entity, right? Salon, Slate, New York Times, MSNBC, all this kind of stuff. These are the same people who were like, this woman, meaning Hillary Clinton, she's the one that needs to be steering the ship, and this oddball orange weirdo is not only a racist, but he's literally Hitler. Right? These are the same people who are enraged. I mean, social media, Twitter storm, forget about it. They are mental about this inmates running the asylum thing. Dog whistle, code words. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. So how do you square that circle? How do you have those two things? Yes, super predator lady should be the president. And this is not just a word, right? If our girl Clinton said it and she's just talking about bad people, okay, right? People say stuff all the time. Hell, I've had people who don't look like me, are not my gender, right, say inmates running the asylum. I've heard that one over at 16 years at the school I'm at, and the 4.5 years in the Bronx in the really, really bad neighborhood. I've heard people, black women, Hispanic women, white, forget about everybody, inmates running the asylum, right? This is not a term that gets everybody bent out of shape. Oh, but now an NFL owner is obviously anxious, worried, sick, and tired of seeing the ship being steered by players who want to kneel during the national anthem. This is costing the NFL a massive amount of money. And he throws out a tired phrase like that. It's so strange. I don't see it. It's just maybe I'm just so different than everybody else, or I can remember more than the last 15 minutes that I see the absurdity of it all. I don't know. Something's up. But it's just baffling to me. I mean, imagine if the owner of the NFL team had said, you know what? When these people get off of the NFL roster and they're in the private sector, they become super predators. I mean, there would be pickets, there death threats. It would be chaotic. There would be massive 24-point bold font headline on all the usual suspects, regressive left media. But I show the video of Hillary Clinton saying super predators to high school kids, and we discuss the relativity of all of this. Zero people at work offended by inmates running the asylum. And I speak sports, and I talk football and basketball. No one cares. It's a throwaway phrase. So let me leave you with this. The teenagers in the area that you think you're fighting for, they don't care. They've got bigger fish to fry. So your outrage about, multi-zillionaire NFL owner who's not worried about you, right? Because he's set and his grandchildren are set for generations. They're not something to be worried about. There are other things to worry about, and you should try at least a little bit before you get angry about someone saying inmates running the asylum. You should think just a tiny bit, maybe that much, about perhaps you think this one through before you allow your childish emotions to manage your affairs and take control of your Twitter, Facebook, and social media accounts. I don't think I'm going to get very far, but I'll tell you what, it's gotten to the point where my daily life of talking with students, right, 18 and younger, is infinitely more logical, sane, normal, and every which way to Sunday rational than the adult conversations and the foolishness I see on social media. Okay, that's my plea to the public and the world at large. Okay, folks, thefreelanceteacher.com, tfttravelgroup.com. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all good. Talk to you guys later. See you soon.